We're now joined in studio by Phumzi Maqungo, who is the National Treasurer for Numsa. Phumzi, good morning to you and welcome to AM News.
Good morning to your listeners.
What exactly does this agreement entail?
This agreement entails a number of benefits. For an example, we have managed to secure a double-digit increase, which is for the next 3 years. Our members, especially those who are on the bottom line, will be able to enjoy a double wage increase. But those who are on the higher position, like technicians, artisans, who are earning more than others, because of we've got a principle in the organization of trying to close the apartheid wage gap, we don't think among ourselves we should continue and have a big gap within us. That's one thing. But two, fundamentally, we've managed to secure victories insofar as labor brokers, even though that we could not win the battle of banning the labor brokers, but at least workers who are employed in this industry under labor broker will be able to enjoy all other benefits that permanent employees are enjoying. And I think it's a good thing because as things before, they were not enjoying the same benefits. We had a constituency, workers are working on the same point of production, but are not enjoying the same benefits. Also in this industry, there are a number of issues that we've managed to secure. For an example, when companies are embarking on a what we call short time, workers are severely subjected. We've agreed that there will be a fund that will be established by both the employer and the organization in this particular sector, where members, when are subjected to short time, they will be able to be compensated at the end of the day so that they are not going to lose. So there are a number of victories that, as Numsa, think we've managed to secure.
So the 10% is not applicable across all levels. It's only the lower paid workers. Is that correct, if I understand it correctly?
Yes. It's only the bulk of our membership. You will notice that though in the past history of this particular sector, it has been majority, it's us as black people, and those who've managed to go to technicians and artisans are few in the industry, but we've managed to secure also a victory for them.
Is that enough, though? Because you started off asking for 15% and you got back to 10%.
Yeah, look, we think that for us it is enough because this is our mandate from our members that let's go and settle the strike. We think that from where we started, for an example, employers were at 3%. When we went out to a strike on the 1st of July, employers were at 6%, and we've managed to win at least a principal digit. And also there are other benefits that we've managed to win that were not there in the past. So to us, we think that it is just not going to solve all our problems, but at least it would make a change in terms of the lifestyle of our members.
You indicated the victory for you really in this agreement is the labor brokers, where some of the members currently on the labor brokers will now be able to enjoy all the other benefits that normal members would. Is that really a victory, or are you still striving to ban labor brokers forever?
That's the Congress of Numsa in 2014 that took that decision. We think that we've engaged with the Minister of Labour. She understands now that why it is important for us to continue to ban labor brokers, because it is a serious issue to us. We've secured victory in that at least those workers will be able to enjoy benefits. Other sectors of the economy where we've got labor brokers, they don't enjoy the same benefits that other members are enjoying. So it's a matter of government move faster in terms of banning the labor brokers. So it is a Numsa resolution. We're still going to fight and take a campaign insofar as that particular resolution is concerned.
But what is the problem with labor brokers on the ground?
The challenge that we have here is that when you work in a factory and employed by a labor broker, and I'm employed, for an example, by a primary employer, there tend to be different conditions of employment that include how they will be treated. And we don't think it is fair. There's no way that we are working in a manufacturing company, we produce cars, for an example, I'm treated differently than you, and yet we are building and producing the same car for the very same employer who enjoys the same profits among that is coming out of us. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that it is clear in this country, there's no place, a school or shop or hospital that is meant for labor brokers. The very same people who are working under labor brokers are also the citizens of this country. They participate in the economy. So why they should be treated differently? And we think that in the main, bosses are making money out of this because the employer, the principal employer, pays the second employer, and we don't think it is fair enough. I think if people want to address the issue of high rate of unemployment, this is not the route to go.
So it doesn't just go down to salaries being less for the person employed by the labor broker. There's other issues involved as well.
Yes, that includes, for example, discipline. We've managed to fight, for an example, right now. If you are employed by a labor broker and your principal employer, the issues of discipline, for an example, are treated differently. You work in my company, and yet the other person who was not even there will run the process of discipline and not following even the Labor Relations Acts that we have, because they tend to undermine the pieces of legislation that we have.
Now, the employers insisted that Section 37 of the Bargaining Council's main agreement be tightened up. What is your stance on this, Section 37?
Section 37, it is the cornerstone of the trade union. For an example, it entails the following, that where you've got an agreement at plants level, you will be able now to continue to negotiate, and if, especially on the issues that are not covered by the collective agreement. But if you don't have that particular, employers, what they wanted to scrap the entire clause of Section 37, which we believe that it will have killed us as an organization, because the existence of Numsa is only few things, is to defend its members and is to continue to engage for betterment of the conditions of our members forever where we are working. So we think Section 37 covers us a lot. For an example, employers wanted out that clause, we said no. Where you've got monthly meeting, quarterly meeting, there are a number of procedural agreements that are in place. Where you've got issues that are not in the collective agreement, you will be able to engage. And if you had to go to a strike on those issues, this clause continue to allow that space.
So the Section 37 stays?
Section 7 stays.
Now, you have also requested a grace period for employees to go back to work. Why is that?
Look, you will note that Numsa is a very big constituency. We are more than 220,000 around 9 provinces, and not all workers. You will note that we are coming from a strike, and when we are on strike, there's no work, no pay principles exist. So you need to give that space so our members to be able to go back to work without being disciplined. And that has been the practice in the industry. There's no way that we can call off a strike on Monday and you expect 99% or 100% of them will pitch up at work, because others would not have heard the call, because we have to report in various regions and various in industrial areas.
Now, what about those employers that says they cannot afford the 10%? What do you say to them?
We heard about that, and we, as Numsa, we've got another responsibility of defending our members. And the beauty about this scenario right now is that it is clear that this is an attitude that has been displayed by the NIESA association during the process of negotiations. After we've signed, we've agreed that this is a settlement agreement. They continue and blackmail us that this industry are unable to afford. And we're of the view that that is blackmailing. We're not going to accept that. If they lock us out, the beauty, it won't be Numsa and who will lock us out, it will be the employers who will take that struggle further. If they want Numsa once again to get out of the companies and call for another solidarity, we will do that in defense of our members. But at least with Minister of Labour, with the biggest employer, SIFSA, and as an organization and solidarity, we are happy with the package. If they are not happy, they must find a way of negotiating.
And that's where we got to leave it. Phumzi, thank you so much for joining us here on air. That was the National Treasurer for Numsa, Mr. Phumzi Maqungo, joining us in studio. Now, President Jacob